is Yen, and I am a registered dietitian. I'm here today to provide some tips and suggestions for facilitating the nutrition session. The first important thing to establish when you meet everyone is to ensure and reinforce the kitchen and food safety rules and the group expectations. This is just to ensure that kids know that these rules and guidelines are important to follow, because if you think about it, if we are not able to follow the kitchen and food safety rules, the participants may get sick from what you make, or you might injure some fingers or hands when you're cutting or grating or peeling, whichever recipe that you might be doing that day. So it's really important to do that at every single session, especially with the group expectations. The key one that we talk about is not being very vocal about something that you don't like. So the key thing is that somebody's yuck is somebody else's yum. So instead of asking, so we want to ask kids to, instead of saying yuck or gross if they tasted something and it wasn't for them, we want to instruct them to spit it in a paper towel or a napkin quietly and then tuck it back onto their table and say no thank you. And this is just to ensure that if somebody really enjoys it, they're not really embarrassed or ashamed to say that they like it, or just feel pressured to say that they also don't like it. This is also good behavior to also reassure parents to also practice at home as well. And that not all foods are going to be favorable for all kids, just like we as adults don't have foods that we like. We have favorite foods, and we also have foods that we can't stand. And so it's the same with children too. So that's why we want to ensure that kids are respectful when they taste something and it's not for them. And it's important to be kind. And so speaking of new food, kids might be exposed to lots of new foods, or even just different ways of preparing a food they've tried before, and they may not have necessarily enjoyed it. And so it's good to reassure parents that trying new foods isn't just about introducing it to them 10 times, and then they'll like it. Sometimes it's 100 times. Sometimes it really just doesn't really come around to it. The key part is just to encourage parents to be patient about it, and to do other ways to encourage kids to continue to try new things. So things like, if they have tried something and they said, no, thank you, it's not for me, praise them by saying, well, thank you so much for trying it. I'm glad you were brave and tried something new. And then the other part is just to always remind them to do that polite thing of spitting in a napkin and saying no thank you.